You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network.
TESPN.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the last fall TESPN Titan Takeover. I'm Ryan Lloyd, joined here by
Sophia Moore.
and we're going to be recapping all of the fall sports as everyone except for football is finished up. All right, we'll look at cross country first. They finished 16th at states on the boys' side, and probably their two highlights, the best performances throughout the year was Matthew Wobelek finished 9th at the Fuma Invitational, and Brady Ciacia ended up in 10th at Collegiate.
And as for girls, they finished 11th at states, with two of their best performances being when they placed 2nd at Fuma and 3rd at Collegiate.
Yeah, we'll change gears to boys soccer. Boys soccer finished the year 10-7-1, losing to Collegiate in the state quarterfinal, who ended up going on and winning the state championship. Boys soccer, just speaking from a personal level, battled through a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries at the start of the year, and kind of coming back from some of those, getting those key players back was huge. To finish out the regular season, we told ourselves that we had to win those final 4 games of the regular season, and we did, all of which in a kind of convincing fashion. But I just wanted to maybe look at maybe what was your outlook on it, maybe a different one from mine.
So I got to see one of the first boys soccer games that they played, and obviously starting off as like a new team with all these new players after losing a myriad of seniors, there was definitely a little bit that they needed to kind of work on, but then going on to like the season, it was really impressive to see how much the team kind of came together and kind of became like that family that Trinity's known for their teams being. So I thought that was really impressive by the boys.
Yeah, the Titans boys soccer we ended up finishing 4th in the prep league, along with that quarterfinal loss to Collegiate. Previously in the first round, we had beaten St. John Paul the Great 4-1 to advance to that quarterfinal. And while the all-state selections have not come out for boys soccer, the all-league ones have, and we're happy to report that for the second time, Seth Molesky has been named an all-prep player, along with Hay Shepard. So big congrats to those two guys as their successful high school soccer careers come to an end with the, I think, proper recognition that they deserve.
I agree.
All right, we're going to look at volleyball now. They finished 9-12 on the season. They ended up winning 3 out of their last 4 games. Kind of late spark towards the end, but it wasn't enough. They didn't end up making it into the state tournament, their last loss being in that LIS tournament, but they had some real standout players. Captain Caitlin Watkins, really the spiritual and physical leader of that team, one of the most dominant players. Her overall stats, 2.4 kills per set and 3.4 digs, which is the highest on the team, so really impressive stats from her.
We also saw our block leader being Jalen Thurman, who, as you can see every game, she was getting a lot of blocks. Her season-ending total was 82 blocks. And Dakota Baldwin was also going with kills, and she had a 2.1 kills per set. Very impressive by both.
Yeah, the Titan volleyball, they'll look to keep building, and the amount of young talent they have. That varsity team only has 2 seniors, Caitlin and Matt Corso. They have, I think, somewhere around 8 or 9 juniors on that team. So they will return a ton of talent next year. We just mentioned Jalen, along with some other standouts such as Dakota Baldwin. So I think we're looking forward to build with momentum. They've got 2 feeder teams, 2 JV teams now, so they've got a lot of talent coming up through the grassroots level.
Yeah, and I'm excited who will kind of take Caitlin Watkins' position as kind of that like dominant force on the team. So we'll have to wait till next season to find out.
Yeah, we'll go to girls tennis. They had their most successful season in about a decade, or maybe more. They ended up finishing 14-6 on the season, 3rd in LIS. A noteworthy performance in that LIS. Susanna Whitehead, the sophomore transfer, the number 1 player at Trinity, was able to knock off the number 1 girl at Collegiate. That girl had not lost in 3 years, so great job by Susanna to really knock someone off their pedestal in just her first season competing in Vista.
Yeah, I think tennis, out of every single sport this entire season, has had the most impressive season, especially coming from like not always like having that kind of record to getting this record. It's really impressive, especially since the team is filled with so many talented sophomores. So we're going to see this talent continue to grow, get stronger, and more girls enter the team.
Yeah, I also want to point out, while they definitely had an influx of talent this year, a little bit of not a complete coaching staff change, more of a coaching staff addition, as they added several new coaches, including more of a swing coach to kind of help those girls work on their development. Will really help going forward, and I know that they're poised to come back next season. We're able to knock off St. Catherine's in the state quarterfinal, which is really a huge momentous win for them, and we're just going to keep going. I got faith.
I do too.
All right, lastly, we're going to take a look at field hockey. Field hockey, another successful season under Coach Margie Sneed. I don't even know. I don't even have enough fingers or toes to count the amount of Coach of the Year awards that Margie Sneed has. She's been a great leader of that program, and you can clearly look back at the records and see just how successful that team has been. Multi-state champion and multi-LIS champion teams. Weren't able to get either this year, but amid some really tough competition, we're battling with collegiate back and forth throughout the year for that #1 All-Metro rating, and we're able to knock them off at our place once, ended up losing to them at their place twice, once in the regular season and another time in the LIS championship.
Even though we didn't secure the final win, we definitely have some really amazing players on the team.
Those including Carson B., Darcy Kopsinis, Shepard Ramsey, Ellie Johnson and Avery Johnson, along with LG Logan.
We also have 4 state girls, Carson and Darcy being on the first team, and Ellie and Shep being on the second.
Yeah, another great season for field hockey. Tons of all-state and all-league recommendations that have come down for those. That continues a tradition. I'm sure there'll be more next year. That program will graduate 5 seniors, Mia Watkins, Darcy Kopsinis, Shepard Ramsey, Ava Benson, and Ellie Johnson. So they definitely have a lot of young talent, especially at the goalkeeper position. Alexa Murphy and the aforementioned Avery Johnson will kind of keep battling and keep making each other better as they've split time throughout in the cage for that goalkeeping role. And they'll return Carson Beatty next year, Syracuse commit. So bright future for field hockey. All right, we're gonna take a look at some of the clips from our last field hockey broadcast. So we'll send it to some of those now.
First up, we're going to be taking a look at the opening goal of the game. We're going to see Reese Eckenrode with the ball, who passes to Ellie Johnson. Gorgeous pass to give an amazing shot. Great job by both of them.
Assist by Reese Eckenrode, as Reese was able to.
Right here, we're going to see a crazy impressive play by senior Ava Benson as she jukes out through the whole entire team by herself to get that beautiful shot in the goal, giving the Titans an amazing lead of 3-0.
Effort by Ava Benson. She would weave her way through.
Right here in the third quarter of the game, we're going to see Alexa Murphy with 2 amazing saves back to back.
All right, we're gonna touch base on the only Titan sport still going, football. For the 3rd straight year in a row, they will be heading to play Benedictine in the final. Past 2 years, we've hosted that final. This year, because of the way the seedings work, Benedictine, with that #1 seed, will host in the final. But that game will be on TESPN, so make sure you tune in for that. It's gonna be an exciting game. Football finished up the year 7-3. With all 3 of those losses coming early in the season, kind of due to a ton of injuries that team has suffered and is still currently going through. But they were still able to pull out the VPL championship, defeating Woodbury Forest and St. Christopher's in back-to-back weeks, which kind of sealed that title. And as such, they've returned 12 VPL players, including the VPL Coach of the Year, Sam Mickens, for the 2nd straight year. And Davion Brown, just a sophomore, received the co-VPL Player of the Year, so impressive accolades for football.
And now we're going to take some looks from the semifinals.
All right, we're going to take a look at this first clip. It's going to be Trey Grant. He's going to find his 3rd touchdown of the day. Great job by the offensive line to create that slide for Trey to run into. Alrighty, our next clip, just 6 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be Tegan Logan's throw to Brennan Ridley. As time expires, this will be the last time that the Titans score before the game-winning field goal. Great job to put some points up right before the half. And here is that game-winning field goal made by the freshman kicker, Evan Goldschmidt, as time expires. 38-yard attempt. Kick is up. You can see just the pure elation from the Titan players. Moments later, fans storm on the field. All right, kind of wrap this whole show up with pretty much as much of a hype as we can get. Football, just as we mentioned, will play in the state championship. I know that I'm extremely pumped for that. I know the players are all pumped for that. The students are as well, along with some of the faculty who I know will make that trip to the Abbey. We're going to send it over to the play of the week, which will be Evan Goldschmidt's game-winning kick in the dying seconds of the semifinal against Flint Hill. But lastly, I just wanted to thank everyone who's tuned in throughout the fall season. It's been a great experience. I know that I've had a lot of fun. I know Sophia.
Definitely a lot of fun. I'm excited to be back for winter. I'm sure you are, Ryan, and we'll see Joe back here with us too.
Yeah, Joe wasn't feeling well today, but his spirit is here. He's with us, helping us out. And we're going to send it to that clip of the week, which will be Evan Goldschmidt's kick.
Evan Goldschmidt, the freshman.
Thank you guys for watching.
And it all comes down to this kick. Brennan Ridley is the holder. Evan Goldschmidt is the kicker. Snap is good. The kick is up. It's in! Oh, it's in! The freshman did it! The freshman did it! The Titans are going back to the state championship game! 30-28! Evan Goldschmidt, have a day, young man! Interview, who? Trinity Benedictine, part 3, next week! Let's go! Evan Goldschmidt, my man! With the play of his life. Look at this. They got him on his shoulders. They are carrying that young man off the field. He is a freshman. That kid is a freshman. 38-yarder. I told you I saw him working on kicking this summer. You do it for moments like this, Silvio. Yeah. He did it.